lights out, and away we go. Looks like a decent start from Triton. looks to be in lead on the course in turn 1. Gary gets a good start. We have a spinner. Oh, Inferno find the back lap of the game and gets the 5-second penalty covered. The weenie contender battling for that third position. Further down the field, we have got quite a few people. It was a VSC.
Versus the car is on already. We haven't even made it to the third corner.
At the start,
Oh, and there's a crash, sorry. I believe it's Gary OC. I don't know if there was contact there, but he spun out in the second and last corner. All over the gearbox.
He's gone for it up the inside. That's a bit of a dive, but I think he's going to make it work. He's good. Coming at P2.
Was who when he looks like something on the outside? Is he kind of repeat the last time? Oh, and when he goes off the track, and is he into the wall?
No, he's not. That'll allow contender through, but he's going to have black all over his tires. The move done. He's gaining very quickly. He's on the outside. We really might try and force him out. It's a bit of payback from earlier in the race. That releases the pressure from Gary.
Oh, Triton clips the wall.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. It's all unfolding. That's the last lap of the Grand Prix. Triton really needs to get this move done to turn 3 and get this. He gets effective P2 as contender. Penalty for this race, but he just needs to clean. Doesn't get a good exit to Triton in a turn 3, so his last chance.
Oh, contender rear ends Triton. I got it on the stream.
The finish line, but he knows he hasn't won this race because contender has comes across the line. Hello and welcome to Tier 2 SLR Bahrain for round 2 of the season. Last time out we had a very good race with Contender taking the win there after a 3-car battle with Huini and I believe it was Triton. Triton is not here this week, which is unfortunate, so that battle will not continue. Huini this week has switched over to no line, so it'll be interesting to see how he turns out in this race. They're all just on their out laps now, getting ready to start their laps. Joining me in the commentary box is none other than Mr. Chief himself. Well, if it's not dry, I'll be very surprised. As it is Bahrain, of course, in the middle of the desert. If it does rain, I think there is something heavily wrong with this game. Yeah, I've put my mic a bit closer. I've turned it up a bit, so I hope that's better. People are saying it's too quiet, so I'm just gonna up the audio level by 1 and see how that is. I can't really hear you, Ocean, so I'm just gonna have to tab out and try and turn you up.
Guys in chat, yeah, just keep us updated on the audio issues, and we can rectify them when we hear. No one has put a time on the board, Jed. It's only 14 minutes left here, but as I say, that massive crossing around.
Okay, so Chief, I've turned you up, so let's hope they can hear you a bit better.
Gaming had a bit of a stinker last race. His teammate actually got promoted.
They're saying you're completely mute. I don't really know how to fix. Yeah, it is. I've turned the audio capture up, so we'll see if that's any better. I can't really think of any other way. I don't really. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of diversity in the tyre compound right now. A lot of people opting for the hards and the medium tyres. Yeah, it is, and the game audio is fine, and I've turned the audio capture up, but nothing's working. Alright, okay, I'm just gonna try this. Hopefully. So the game audio is fine, it's just I've changed what it's coming out with and see like the output. Alright. Okay. I'm just trying something else, see if that works. Okay, there's no game audio now. No, this is so annoying. Okay, can you guys hear the game audio or Chief? Okay, this is the last option I have.
Uh-oh.
So I don't really know what to do after this.
Oh, here, it worked, but I don't think the in-game volume's working.
Okay, so we can hear Ocean, but the in-game audio's not good. Now it's just the game. We can't win. Okay, I'm just gonna turn the volume up to the max. Well, they can hear you now, but we don't have game audio.
Yeah, strange one. The only thing I can suggest is go to audio output capture, double click on it in the sources,
Okay, yeah.
and you know where it says device, like kind of you could try changing that. Mine's on speakers, Realtek
Yeah,
high,
yeah. Mine's on speakers as well.
but maybe try default or something like that. Maybe try that.
Default done. Okay, it's on default now. The audio's back, but we can't hear Chief. So there's either we can either hear. So we can't either hear Chief, but no audio. We could if it's necessary. Alright guys, Chief is gonna switch over. Oh, by the sounds of it, they can't even hear me. Yeah, they can. Never mind. So yeah, we're gonna switch over. Chief's gonna stream. So we'll see if that's bad. Okay.
Yes, we should be back online. Let me just check the stream.
Yep, we are.
Yeah, we're online, so that's us back online. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. As always, a few technical issues, but we got there in the end, and we're 6 minutes left to qualifying. So, yep, keep us posted on the audio levels. They should be good now, hopefully.
Yeah, me and Chief will have to look into that and see what's wrong. But anyway, back to qualifying. The action on circuit. Deathluke currently on pole position with a 27.5. On the soft compound tyres, Aaron and Keyboard follow behind, also on the softs. Gary and Verk, very close, about half a tenth between them, but they're on the medium compound tyres. So a bit different. And so it looks like there's a bit of a diverse between the two stop and the one stop. Obviously, if you're going on the softs, you'll be doing softs, medium, medium. If you're going on to the mediums, I assume medium hards would be the way to go.
Yeah, that's certainly the case in practice when we've seen the guys kind of testing out different strategies. I mean, it is possible to go soft, medium, medium, or potentially soft, medium, soft, but it is you don't want to get that extra pit stop in. It will cost you big time, and also the soft tires go off in like 5 laps. This track really eats up the rubber.
Yeah, it's really bad on the left. The tricky downhill turn 10 doesn't do it any favors, as everyone is either on their in lap or just in the pit lane. Apart from Netfluke and Thimo, who I believe has just started a lap.
Yeah, I've got Verk here as well on this stream. He is about to come around and set a lap, I believe, or maybe is he on his? Yeah, he's on a hot lap.
I think he might be going on one because he's put the ERS up in overtake mode. Yeah, he's coming onto a lap, so I'm gonna stick with him. He's in 8th, obviously stretching out that gear as far as he can to 111th gear, braking around the 100-meter board, down in a 2nd, short shifting up to 3rd to avoid the wheel spin, especially on those medium tyres, bit slippier than the softs, and very, very slower, much slower than the softs. I think the stream's froze, Chief.
Oh dear, what the hell's going on?
We are not having a good day on the stream, my friend.
This is like amateur hour. Why did
Okay,
it?
I think we might be back.
Yeah, it's back on. Yeah. Yeah. So you were saying there about the tires. Yeah, there's a few corners in this track, like you mentioned, the turn one corner, but also that kind of corkscrew downhill left hand one that you just saw Verco for is it eats up tires majorly. Especially the front right, the load that is put on that is quite extreme. And I just want to make sure I've got everything off in the background so I'm not causing any issues with the stream here. But yes, uh, Verk is about to come down to complete his hot lap at the minute. He's currently P5 or 128.5. Let's see what he's got in the tank right now.
Opens that DRS for in overtake mode. Does a 28.1, a very fast time on those medium compound tyres, which promotes him up into 3rd place. Huini running no line in 6th place, so he's in a very good position for his first time. It's all about the learning curve when you're just starting no line. So I'm gonna be seeing how he does this race, and let's just hope he does well. So has a bit more confidence coming into the next couple of races.
Yep, for getting out of the way for the rest of the fast boys making their way under their own hot laps. I actually missed out the first race of the season, but we know he is a very, very fast guy, and he's P2 at the minute on those soft tires. So I think these guys that have done the hot laps on softs, if they start on the softs, it's going to compromise their strategy a little bit. Really, Gary OC at the minute is very well placed. Verk as well on those medium tires. That's kind of the strat you want to go for.
Yes, Huini's on the lap. The Toronto of Adam is moving out the way. Huini loses it on the exit and he backs out of that lap and decides to abandon it. Try and find someone who's coming to the end of their lap. GRL Nicolidis, I think that might be how you pronounce it. He has backed out of his lap as well. He's just getting ready. I think Mossy might be on a hot lap as well. He is in hot lap trying to beat his 28A, but Aaron's kind of being a bit of a roadblock here. As we've got Terror in the chat saying you can do soft to hards around here. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting on the strategy front. Like we kind of touched on it a bit, but yeah, I think medium to hard is right the safest strategy. But you could potentially, these back guys from P11 to P20, they could offer a bit of an alternate strategy. Could try the soft to hard. The soft obviously will last a bit longer because they'll have the fresher tire choice. Huini is retired from the session, or yeah, from this qualifying session. P6 currently. And that's on a medium tire, so that's not looking too bad.
Yeah, maybe. We'll just have to see how everything plays out. Obviously, if you get caught up in battling, your tire wear increases by quite a bit. So
yeah,
we'll just have to see what these guys do. Obviously, the guys on the soft compound tires will be wanting to get away as fast as they can from the medium ones.
Yeah, because I mean, generally speaking, you don't want to spin your car at any cost. But if you, in this track especially, on a soft tire, if you spin, your tires are toast. The temperatures will just go sky high, and you'll find it hard to keep on the track, and then it'll affect your tire wear, and it's kind of like a chain reaction. Then it just leads to bad things, should we say? As Nickel Race cross the line P5 there, 128.1. So. Nefaluk currently on the top spot there, 27.6. Looks kind of safe up there on those soft tires, but
yeah, there's Infernakai pushes him down a place in a 5th there.
Yeah, not bad lap from him. P5. We've got Joel as well on a hot lap here on the hard tires. George, or sorry, on the medium tires, and George as well on the mediums about to cross the line. He's got 29.4 and he's improved to 28.6. So,
Nefluke with a 27.2.
ooh,
Very fast time.
yeah, he's looking very pacey then today.
Joel opens the DRS to cross the line and goes P13, I think.
Yes, not bad. Not a bad lap from him.
Yeah, pretty good on the medium tires. So I think we've finally sorted out the issues and we can get on with the races as they racing. Sorry.
Yeah,
As
well,
they come.
we always get there in the end. Always have some technical issues, but hopefully we'll get those ironed out as the season progresses. But yeah, just while we're on a break here, Bants will be back next week. He's going to be the kind of the main commentator for Tier 2 alongside Bailey. So I'm very much looking forward to that taking place next week. Of course, I'm here to stand in where it needs be. Um, oh, a question for you, Bailey. I didn't see it there, but where did Wimpy end up on the qualifying?
I didn't see either. We didn't get any results.
Yeah, he had a horrible race last time. He was desynced, and I kind of had a bit of a laugh watching his race. You know, he always streams his races, and I watched it back after the race, and he was getting really, let's say, annoyed. Is a nice way of putting it, because other cars couldn't see him, but he didn't know this at the time. So cars were just, chucking him off track and trashing him, and he was going, "What the hell? What's going on here?" Little did he know that he was actually desynced, and yeah, no one else could see him. So his race was absolutely atrocious, and from that point of view, and he didn't get any points. So he's very eager to. He's aiming for a P10 at the very least for this one.
Well, he's in P17 in qualifying.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, he does have that fresh tire option, so that's at least one advantage he can, kind of focus on.
yes, Vinny, a very fast driver who can make places up and through the field, is all the way down on last. So I might have joined during during qualifying maybe.
No, I think,
Or just didn't put a lap in.
yeah, I think he must have got a lap in, or either that. I know he's an American, so he's on that weird time zone thing where it's like, was it like 6 hours behind or ahead, or yeah, I think it's behind.
Yeah.
So he just woke up and then he's racing straight away. So he might be just, getting the getting a cup of coffee and getting up to speed here. But yeah, Tipsy Bob in chat, he said he can be back up if needed again. He's always willing to help out, and that's great to hear because I would personally love to hear Bob back on the mic. And I think you and Tipsy would be a great pairing as well as you and Bants.
Yes. Tipsy also confirming that Vinny did not set a lap in qualifying. So,
Yeah.
thank you, Tipsy. Everyone outside the top 10 has either gone for the mediums of a hard tyre, contender on those mediums, and P4. A great lap from him in qualifying. As we
Yes, both him
begin.
and Verk look in really good position for this race on those mediums. Gary OC and P10 as well. He's on kind of the lower limits of that, but not as much of an advantage. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. Neff Luke, kind of a surprise pull from him there. I haven't seen him all week in practice, and he puts it on pole. Same with Ag. He haven't seen him for a long time, and here he is, P2. So picking up where he left off last season.
Yeah, some people don't really like to reveal their place and keep their pace to the Grand Prix modes, which is pretty smart. I guess you don't really want anyone knowing what you can do before the race has begun. You want to save that till the very beginning of the race.
Roxy and Elementrix in chat is saying go Georgie, so we've got a lot of George MS fans in here. I'm one of them. He has the SLR branding before his name, so it's always a plus in my book.
Yeah, he really wants to score some points as we begin to get underway here in Bahrain. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's lights out. And away we go. Looks like a very decent start from Aaron, who manages to pull alongside.
Oh,
Adam goes into the wall
yeah.
there
Adam just
in the back.
lost it on throttle and just went to the right.
Deathloop
Yeah.
on the outside. Can he get the move done for the lead again? Doesn't look like Aaron takes the lead. Contender under pressure from Keyboard Magnussen now as they go side by side into turn 3. Magnussen almost up the inside of Motocross, so that sends him into a bit of a snap.
Oh, there's a collision. Who was that? That was
It was the Renault.
yeah, Verk.
Oh, Verk is all the way down to P20.
Yeah, they went too wide for the fast chicane there, and Verk came off the worst there. Yeah, quite a bad incident.
So, a very hectic start as Thimo's around. Invalid just clipped him and now sent him around. Not a good way, not the way you want to be facing out of that turn 10.
Yeah, so there's a
corner.
number of incidents already taking place here. There's a few drivers out there with a bit less weight on their car as they've lost a bit of end plate here or there. I think Thimo has got away without damage though. Yes, so he just got hit on the rear, got spun out. He's lost a lot of time and positions because of it.
Yeah, Mossy, Wimpy and Invalid making up more than 5 or more positions on the first lap as Nethluke is closing on Aaron, but he's not close enough to go for a move. Motocrosser and Keyboard all following suit with Contender.
Yeah, Timo's on the move here. Sorry, Billy's about to put a move on Larson into turn 1. And I think he gets that move done under braking. Joel gets his braking wrong, goes out wide.
He's got wing damage, does Joel. That won't be helping his braking. Vinny. Who was that who just went flying into the barrier? It was Larson in the Williams.
Oh, Larson, he's no damage though that I can see on his car, which is strange, considering the impact.
He might have just gone through the board.
Yeah, but Thimo already making up positions here. P15, so nice recovery so far, but I hear that he is raging in voice chat, so...
Oh, Van hits GRL off at turn 10. He's had to take it off track, and Van gives that position gets that position, sorry. But Mossy's now at the inside of GRL, and he takes that position. I can't get my words out of there. And Iwini wants a bit of the cake, so he goes around the outside.
Ooh.
To take P10.
Yeah, Mossy went onto the curb there. Looked like he might have lost it a bit, but it didn't cost him too much time. But yeah, Iwini is right on his chuff. And he might get a move done here as the DRS will open. They won't have it. Oh, Mossy gets it wrong coming out of the last corner there, and allows Iwini to further close up the gap. And I think slipstream is very minimal here, but you can see just getting a little bit more overspeed. He's an overtake, and he's thinking about the move down the inside.
Oh, he's going for it. That's very late on the brakes.
Ooh, very nicely done, but Mossy gets it back, yeah.
With nice. The switchback.
Nicely held by Mossy, yeah.
That's very good as Adam pits. I think Joel and Vinny were just going side by side. Missed out a contender. Had a bit of a understeer moment, sorry. And loses 2 positions to Infernicoi and Gary OC. So the medium runners are looking to struggle to get those tyres up to temperature, as Gary is now in P6 as the lead one. He just wants to, the medium runners just want to stick with the soft compound runners as Motocrosser, Nethluke and Aaron pull away in the top 3, which is going to be great for their races, and then we might see a little battle further on as Vinny's up the inside. On the outside of Joe, but he gets that move done very easily.
Yeah, so Gary OC is he's done really well. Contender's fallen back a little bit. He's the other medium tire runner from the top 10, but Gary OC from P10 to P6 and is currently the forerunner with the medium tires. So we're going to see the top 5 guys on the soft tires. Those tires are going to start to fall off the cliff pretty soon, I would say, in the next lap or 2, and you're gonna.
Sorry to cut you off there, Chief, but Infernicoi is going for a move on Keyboard Magnussen, and he gets the move done for momentarily, as Keyboard now has the DRS. over Infernocoin. He's on the inside. Will he get the move done on the inside line? He does.
Nicely done from Keyboard Warrior. It looks like Inferno Koi is... Oh, almost...
Oh, he eclipses him! And
Yeah,
that sends him around. A very good save though. Want to be
yeah.
careful.
So
When they're
easy to
back
lose
on the
it there,
track, it
yeah.
doesn't
Just
easily.
the slightest nudge will just send you flying. So Keyboard's doing well here. P4, he is coming under a lot of pressure here now from Gary OC. As I say, you know, that this is what we're seeing here. The tires, these soft tires, I know it's only 3 laps in, but they are going to start to heat up massively and turn to jelly pretty much as Gary takes another look.
Hawini might be getting a double overtake here on Mossy and Van. He outbreaks himself a bit there. That allows Mossy to do
Oh,
a similar thing that he did at turn 1.
oh,
But he's in the wall,
oh my word.
in the gravel trap.
Mossy Gaming, yeah, that was, I don't know what happened there. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really get a good view of it, but he has got no front wing as a consequence of that collision. He will have to pit this lap. I wonder, does he have damage? It doesn't look like it. As Gary's gonna go, he's got the move done before the corner even starts, but Contender looks up the inside of Keyboard Magnussen, and Vernicoy fell behind him somewhere, so we missed that. Oh, it was Vernicoy's little spin. Contender would have got past him. Keyboard very close to the back of Gary there. So he needs to be careful with his braking. Nethlu still within a second of Aaron. Motocross has dropped out of that second window, so we're not picking up DRS from Nethlu.
Yep.
The soft compound tyres. Oh, sorry, Chief.
We've got another battle here forming for P9 or P8, P9 position. We've got Van Beats in the mix, Nickelodeus, Wimpy, George, and now Thimo's joining the mix. As I see Nickelodeus getting a bit of a strange track rejoin there after messing up the corkscrew corner, which is going to put him under further pressure from Wimpy. But yeah, Wimpy and George are running pretty close here. They're looking pretty punchy as well.
Yeah, they do. Wimpy wins a bit wide. George might have a crack coming in the penultimate corner, but he thinks better of it.
Yeah, you're probably best being patient here and getting a really good run out, which he kind of compromised by cutting that corner so much. You can see him dropping off the back of Wimpy here, and Wimpy is, yeah, charging up the ranks. Keyboard Magnussen in the pits, so that is actually to be expected with Keyboard. He's 5 laps on those softs. He's on the keyboard.
Oh, Van's around! Oh, just.
Oh, yes.
He had a tap from Nickelodeus in turn 1.
Yeah, that's
He
put
he just went in a bit too hot at the Renault and just tapped him, but he's going up the inside now. Can he make this move stick without any contact? Van holding it on the outside, taking the wider line, gets the better exit into the S, and he keeps that move. As Wimpy runs a bit wide there, but manages to keep it on the track.
Oh, Wimpy sends it down the inside. What a move from Wimpy. Last minute dive there. It was, he kind of went out wide and pushed out Nickelodeus, but I think
George is on the outside now as he gets a tap, and all that sent him wide. Wimpy just going for some audacious moves and pushing some people off the track.
Love it, amazing.
Yeah, seeing some major yeetage in this race.
Thankfully no damage there. It was very close racing there and very hard racing as well, but Thimo is loving it as well because he is right on the back of these guys now, and he's probably going to try to put a move on George on the next straight. Joe with a time penalty as well.
Deathluke has gone to the lead. They were side by side coming into when Aaron pitted, I believe, so I thought there was going to be a move, but Aaron just concedes it. Going for the undercut. Aaron doesn't really want to end up in traffic. We'll see where he comes out. We've got quite a few of the soft runners pitting, apart from Infernocoin and Nathluke. Kutenda's closing on Gary as Thimo and George going side by side through turn 2. Thimo gets the move done, but George, they're both going to get the DRS now, and George doesn't go for a wimpy dive bomb. I think the appropriate name for a dive bomb, though.
Yeah, I think George. It's one thing I've noticed about George. He's almost too considerate. He'll hang back rather than go for a move, because he doesn't want to risk anything, which is probably a good thing. But in certain, like you saw with Wimpy there, sometimes you just have to go for it, and it paid off for Wimpy as he's now getting a bit of a gap here. But Thimo versus Wimpy, this is a battle we want to see on track, and it's about to happen here as Thimo has got him in his sights.
I can't wait for the next installment of this battle. Both on the same compound of tyres, so it's even playing field. They both have very similar ERS as well. Wimpy one's a bit wide there. Timo within that all-important 1 second window, he will get DRS. As Huini on the back of Inferno Koi pulls to the right-hand side there and gets him before turn 1, so gets his braking point right.
Yeah, so Inferno Koi on those 7-lap old tyres, as is Nev Luke. They're the only two yet to pit off those soft tyres, and I tell you what, I would not like to be out there on 7-lap old soft tyres. They are bound to be, yeah.
But Aaron and Berg going side by side. Sorry, I keep cutting you off, Chief.
No, it's okay. There's so much action. Yeah, it's a good sign. It's a good sign. But I'm trying to stay on board with Wimpy and Timo because this is a battle for the ages. This is one we want to see.
Does Aaron have wing damage? Aaron has wing damage.
Oh, right. Where did he pick that up then? Yes, he does indeed.
He was going a bit argy-bargy against Verk. He might have picked it up there. That's really going to help Netflix's race.
Oh, Thimo gets past Wimpy.
Oh no!
Yeah, missed it. It was out of the corkscrew corner. Very slow, tight right-hander, left-hander.
Wimpy.
Sorry.
Yeah, Wimpy's gonna hopefully stick with Timo. We might see him move down the main straight.
Oh, and he cuts
Wimpy cuts the corner.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get a penalty for that, but he definitely would have got a warning. But he's better being patient here. Yeah, he just wants to get as I said last time around, he wants to get a good run out. And they're both going using as much curve as possible to get the best possible angle of attack. And I think, is he too far back? Oh, Thimo, sorry. Thimo put a wheel in the dirt. Yeah, and that's allowed Wimpy just to get so much overspeed on him. He's going to get this moved on by the next corner. And then there's a DRS straight after this. It just never stops.
So I'm going to run aboard of Thimo as I think he got a light tap from Vinny there. Wimpy getting an amazing exit off turn 2. Great.
Yeah, that's crucial.
Exit. As Joel and Aaron going side by side up on the incline up to turn 3, Aaron gets the move done. Where has Nefluke come out? He has come out behind this battle of Joel and Aaron.
Oh, something's happened up front as well. Thimo has dropped down another position to Vinny.
Oh, yeah, where Vinny's.
This is where all the action is. We need to stay with these guys. So George as well.
On the outside, turn 10. George blinking a bit, so wisely backs out of that move. If you know you're blinking, it's better not to risk a steward inquiry as Thimo and Vinny. Very close. Under 5/10, which is not the range that you want to be attacking someone. Nefluke very close to Joel as well, so I expect there to be an overtake there. As Nefluke's on the hard compound tyres, so he'll be trying to stretch those to the end of the race as Joel runs out wide. Nefluke might try and get this move done before.
Yeah, I think he is. He's going down the inside. Oh, and Joel late breaking there. Lots of late breakers. But look who's behind. It's Motocross here.
Motocrosser.
He's trying to capitalise on this. He's on 2-lap old softs. He's going to feel very punchy here. And I think Joel's going to get swamped here by 2 cars.
We're going 3 wide, maybe. We are 3 wide as it turns to 2 wide as they get past Joel. Motocrosser on the inside. Nefluke really wants to stay ahead of the Alfa Romeo, in which he does for now. Does Nefluke have DRS? He does not. But I don't think Motocross is going to be close enough to go for a move, but except he is up the inside. But Nefluke on the outside gets a much better exit and takes the P11 for his chase on Aaron.
This is kind of holding up Motocrosser. He's on the soft tire and he wants to get ahead. He wants to stretch his legs here, but he can't. He's being held up and it's going to hurt him massively.
Yeah, maybe Netflix might just want to not fight Motocrosser and maybe just make him get Motocrosser to drag him to Aaron, which I think he's going to do. He's in 1 ERS. He's not going to fight it. He doesn't want to lose time. So
Gets the move done, but he's going to come under attack on the start straight, I imagine, with the DRS. And if he can hold Neff off for that one, he should be good. Contender and our race leader, Gary OC, is in the pits. So where are they going to come out? That puts Huini in P1, Inferno Koi in P2. Inferno Koi in 10-lap old sauce. What is going on there?
he is definitely doing the one stop on those. As Contender and Gary exit the pit lane, Jewel gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh no.
Wait, it's Gary. Gary comes out ahead of Nefluke.
He does indeed, and just behind Motocrosser as well, despite Motocrosser being held up for so long. But this is good for Gary, because ahead is Motocrosser on 4-lap old soft. Oh, Motocrosser gets it all wrong. A lot of opposite luck there, and just managed to save it. He didn't lose too much time there either, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's a miracle that he's still in that position as he gets a bit of a tap there. As I think Larson's lost it through the left, right. He has, and has got winged him just to watch out for the Renault. He pulls over on the gravel to avoid getting in anyone's way. As I don't know whether you saw, but Nefluke picked up a time penalty, a 3-second time penalty, so that's not going to help his chances in this race.
Yeah, and I'm riding on board with Inferno Koi. I imagine he must pit. He has to pit this lap.
Uini pits, so let's see. And Voinakoi on those very old soft, yes he does. He does pit indeed. Will Wimpy? Wimpy continues, as does Thimo and Vinny. Vinny on the hards.
Yeah,
And Valid continues as well.
Medium should last a few more laps, I would say, and we're going to see the medium runners.
Speaking of them, they were just going side by side, but it looked like Vinny had lost the rear. But he has got a good exit, does Vinny, so he's going to pull over to the right-hand side, and he gets that move done for the lead. No, he doesn't, as Wimpy is on the outside. And with the better exit, might be able to hold on. Not quite. Vinny gets ahead. Thimo will be looking to snap Wimpy up as well and get back past him.
Yeah, so these guys are running so close together. I wonder what the strategy is going to be. I know that Wimpy has Icewind as his crew chief, and I'm sure Thimo has a few guys in voice chat helping him out as well. But I think Wimpy, I don't know about strategy. Maybe is he better go for the undercut?
Maybe. You just wanna, as Timo's got maxers, so he'll be staging an attack as we lost GRL in the Renault.
Yeah, I just saw that he was at the side of the road there just before the third hairpin. So don't know what happened to him, but he is out on his debut race. So yeah, let's join Wimpy as he does indeed go into the pits. Thimo as well, right behind him. Looked like he was about to give him a wee push.
Looking for an overtake.
In the pits, yeah, that'd be something. Or maybe just like a gentle push across the line to give him a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, as Gary got past motocross somewhere as we were looking at the Vinny Wimpy battle, Aaron with that wing damage has been caught. So, and he's on the 2-stop strategy, so it's not looking good for Aaron Ag in the Ferrari in this race. It's looking good for Gary though, who loses the rear a bit, and that allows Motocrosser to get a better run. He's not going to go for a move, thinks better off it.
Yeah, and look at this. Wimpy came out, and just behind him is George, who split up Thimo and Wimpy. Despite there not being much of a gap between them, George is just slotted right in there. So he's went for a bit of an overcut, and it's actually paid off. For he's got past Thimo. He just needs to get past Wimpy now.
Yeah, so He's making gains as the Inferno Coil is up ahead. He came out in P10 after his long stint on those soft compound tyres. George, like you said, will want to get ahead of Wimpy. He got one of the minis he locked up.
Oh!
Picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Oh no, George. And someone else behind as well. Kind of
that
followed
leaves
him.
him vulnerable to Thimo. Will Thimo get the move done? He does. So
Yep.
that's a shame for George.
It's a shame for George, but it's good for us because it means Timo Wimpy is back on. These guys are running so close together. Something has to happen. Something has to give.
Yes, Aaron weaving on the straight a bit. That trips him. There needs to be some contact between Timo and Wimpy.
Don't say that now.
No.
Don't tempt
Let's just
fate.
hope some good races. Good race.
Yeah, we've got
As
Van
Inferno
Beets.
Coil.
Sorry, Van Beets is in the
Yeah.
pits. Yeah, Inferno Koi did come in off those, was it 10, 11 lap old softs? So he's probably glad of that now. He's on the hard tire, which isn't not too bad. There's not much of a difference between the medium and the hard tire here. Obviously the hard's going to get him to the end of the race though. And
Yep.
Adrianov as well, he's kind of made a nice comeback. He still has to pit though. I believe it'll be his second pit stop, but he's currently P14 just ahead of Joel.
Will be his second pit stop when he does pit. So Verk, another one who got caught up on that lap 1 incidents down in P16. So the two cars branded in Red Bull.
Sorry. Yeah, there's more action. Sorry to interrupt you there, but it's up front. It's Motocrosser, Gary, and Aaron Ag, and Motocrosser just give Gary a bit of a
gone
bump.
up the inside. Motocrosser's got damage. So that allows Kutenda up the inside. Gary might have a go at Aaron, who pits. He obviously does not want to run that wing damage for any longer.
Yeah, Motor's in there as well. So that is interesting. You know, we've got full damage on, so I think this is basically a, you know, product of that. You know, if you do tap someone, you know, whereas before you might have got away with it, or you know, just got that light green damage, but now you are going to pick up a bit more significant damage.
Yeah, it's not going to be good for your race. Thimo rapidly closing in on Wimpy. He's going to go up the inside for P8. Thimo outbreaks himself just a bit, but he gets the move done. I think the Wimpy will have the DRS coming up in a turn 3. He opens it.
Yeah.
He's in the overtake mode. Thimo, and not in overtake mode, oddly enough. There's a bit of argy-bargy, a bit of contact there, but no harm done. And Thimo gets the move up in a P8 on Wimpy.
What a move from Thimo there. We got it all on camera for once. It did happen. Mark this date. Where were you when Thimo overtook Wimpy? It's one of those famous events that everyone will remember where they were when this happened. But yeah, great move from Thimo. I thought Wimpy was going to get him back there with a DRS, and just wasn't able to get a good enough run out of that first hairpin. He does have DRS now though, but he's too far back. Look at Thimo, he's so far ahead already. And Wimpy cutting the corner a little bit there.
Wimpy under pressure from SLR George MS7 in the Williams car. George in the top 10, so be happy for that as Wimpy picks up a 3-second time penalty. I think it was long overdue after the corner cuts we've seen him do, as Motocrosser picks up the penalty as well. He's down in P13, as well as Aaron, who's also in P15. After Jules, I think Aaron might have lost quite a lot of time. I would have, because he had a wing change for his wing damage. So it looks like this race might be between Gary and Kutenda with Nefluke with that penalty. Maybe Huini can catch up to the back of them if he can find some pace, but we'll have to see how it pans out.
Yeah, Vinny's in the lead at the minute, but he's obviously hasn't pitted yet. He's on these hard tires. So I wonder if he's going to try. I think he might, you know, try and run until like around about lap 20 maybe, and put on a set of softs. Maybe before actually, and try and pick up a lot of positions. So that actually would be something to watch out for. I'm not sure how far you can run these hards, but it's pretty far, I think, into the race.
Yeah. Um, we'll just have to see. Vinny's obviously got. Well, he's pulling out in the pits now.
There you go.
So
So is it medium or soft do you put on? I think medium.
yeah,
It's quite
medium
early.
will be the tire that he's putting on. I wonder. I think he'll come out ahead of Aaron and Motocrosser. We'll just have to see. It's maybe close between him and Infernocoy.
Yeah, I think he might come out in front of Inferno, you know. Maybe it's going to be tight. I think Inferno might just get him.
No, okay, yeah. He's slotted in between Infernocoy and Thimo in the McLaren car. So it's interesting to see how his charge through the field, how far can it get? It's an 8-second gap to Kibo and Magnussen, who I do believe will have to pit again on those sort of medium tyres,
Yeah.
as Invalid and Wimpy going side by side through turn 3. So Invalid must have got ahead of George somewhere as they go side by side into the S. No
Ooh.
contact made, very clean on the outside with Wimpy, a great defensive drive.
Yeah, and Val's on a charge here. He got past George MS there at the start finish straight, and now he's on the back of Wimpy here and making him work for his work for this race for sure. I'm sure Wimpy's working up a right sweat in that Ferrari. George MS with a 3-second time penalty. That's another time penalty for George. He's in P11 at the minute, so the points are slipping away from George at the minute.
Yeah, they are. It's a shame, as Motocrosser and Aaron on those fresh mediums will be coming for them as a valid pixel, a 3-second time penalty. But Kutenda is going on the move of Gary for the lead of the race on the outside in turn 1, which switches to the inside for turn 2, and Kutenda looks to have it for now as the DRS opens on Gary's car. Kutenda defending it with all his life as Gary's on the outside line. Gary will have the better exit. He runs off track a bit. That allows Kutenda to get a better run despite on the inside, and that is Kutenda into the lead of the race as Inferno has been overtaken by Vinny, and Wimpy and George are going side by side now as Wimpy manages to stay ahead as before after he got overtaken by Invalid.
Yeah, it's all kicking off here. It's hard to keep an. Oh, Jules out. Jules out.
Oh, yeah, I don't know where he's gone off.
Yeah, it's just after turn 2. He went off to the left there, so it is so easy to lose it on traction there. But yeah, sorry to see him go out of the race. We've got 11 laps left here, so let's have a look and see. George is still. He's cut the corner there in that corkscrew. Joel left session, yeah. But Wimpy has DRS, as does George. But George looks like he got a better run out of the corner despite cutting that corner. And he's sending it up the inside. Oh! Isn't able to make that move stick. Oh, and they almost came together. They knew it was going to happen, and they both averted crisis point there at the last second. That was a bit of a interesting one. We saw that at the start of the race. And yeah, George just unable to get past Wimpy here at the minute.
Yeah, it looks like he'll have a pop at the start finish straight in the turn 1. Doesn't get the best of exits though.
Yeah, I have to say about that move Contender put on Gary OC was very interesting, a very wise move. He went around the outside. Usually you go for insides for, you know, if you want to go for the optimum line for corners, but he knows he's got to get a really good run out of the second and third corner. So that inside line is really, or outside line going into the turn 1 is probably the preferred one to overtake if you can keep ahead of the other car.
Yeah, this is George is on the inside and has got ahead of Wimpy, and you're totally right, Chief. The outside line through the first corner, if you can keep the car hooked up around there, you can definitely get a good exit and stretch out ahead through turn 2. Speaking of Kutenda, he has got a 1.8 second gap, and Nefluke is now catching Gary. So Gary's tyres, maybe he's got wing damage, tyres might have just fallen off. His wing might have just fallen off. We'll see. As Joel in the chat has said, he had yellow front wing damage for all of his first stint.
Yeah, that's not good, not good. But
As
you
Netflix catching Gary very fast
yeah,
on
he
the
is indeed.
inside of
He's going
turn
for the inside
1.
line, and is he? This is what we were talking about there last lap. Gary. Oh, and there's
Ooh,
contact. Gary. Oh, he's very lucky to get away with that. Netflix just caught his front wheel there. I think it was just nothing too aggressive there, but a bit cheeky.
yeah, was a bit ambitious by Netflix just coming across like that, but no harm done, except of a second of time lost as Aaron and Keyboard go side by side. Keyboard manages to get the defense for now as Aaron opens the DRS. Will he go for the move on Keyboard? He will up the inside, following suit like his teammate on the dive bombs. Keyboard doesn't really look like he can have a defense for it, and he doesn't.
Yeah, he's on the 2 lap old mediums, so fresher tires, but yeah, he's struggling a wee bit here on pace, isn't he? Well, we know Aaron Ag is a very fast driver here. He's kind of caught himself out of position, P12. He's going to try and get himself some points at least by the end of this race. There is still 9 laps left, so there's still time to get himself in the top 10. But yeah, there's a few guys that maybe have something to say about that.
Yeah, I think I will. As it's only really the battle for ninth between George, Wimpy, and Invalid. That's really to look at. There's Keyboard and Aaron, but I think Aaron will start pulling away, which he is.
Yeah,
As George goes for a move
he
on
is indeed.
Invalid on the inside. Down in a second on the inside line is where throat starts to hurt a bit.
That's another good sign of a good race.
Yeah. Invalid with the DRS open now. Coming into turn 3, it's going to go to the inside line, but doesn't go for the move on the inside. Obviously, just doesn't want to really risk.
Oh!
There's a bit of lag from George on his side, I think.
That was kind of scary. I was on board with Invalid when that happened. Kind of spooky.
Yes, was very. When a car's lagging back, you just wanna stay out of there, away from their car as far as you can be. You do not want to get hit by them when they're lagging, as that could be the end of your race. Motocross is now closed onto this little train.
Yeah, it's an awful feeling, isn't it, when you're on the start finish straight and the guy behind you is a DRS and you're just like, I have no chance. You just get that sinking feeling. And you're just like, oh, as long as I get a good run out, I might get him on the next straight. But oh, Invalid looked like he.
Invalid just goes very defensive. I wondered why Invalid was a bit down on pace compared to what he showed earlier. He's got wing damage.
Ah, that would explain some of this stuff then. Yeah, so I wonder where he picked that up as Motocrosser makes his way past into P11. Sorry, P10.
Yeah, Wimpy in P9. So from I think it was 17 on the grid.
Wow.
He has made up, I believe that will be 8 positions.
Yeah, and George has those time penalties, but he's built up a gap of 4. Oh, as Motocrosser goes up the inside of Wimpy, and they're going to go too wide for these fast chicane section here. No, Motocrosser backs out of it, thinks better of it, which is probably a wise decision.
Yeah, it can go horribly wrong going side by side there, but I think Wimpy and Motocross are two very clean drivers. I do think they'll come out of it cleanly, as Motocross loses the rear a bit coming through the corkscrew of turn 10, but manages to not turn it into a half spin and keep it on the circuit. Vinny making up 15 positions during this race, so a fantastic race from him, I do have to say. As Invalid gets another 3-second time penalty there, which will not help his cause.
Yeah, I think Wimpy has won penalty, maybe 2.
I think he may have 2. I'll check that for you.
And George has a good few as well. George is actually closing in a bit on Thimo.
Wimpy has 1 as Motocrosser is pulling over the right on the inside line of turn 1. He is going to look to see and get this move done, which he does very nicely indeed. Wimpy, will he have a response? He has no DRS, interestingly, so we won't be able to gain on him.
His DRS must be broken. That does happen. It's something that's coming up quite often now with this full damage on. Just throws another thing in the mix that you have to consider. It usually fixes itself after a couple of laps, but Wimpy really needs the DRS right now to keep up with these guys.
Yeah, so we've got some messages in chat. Tipsy pointing out that Thimo spun out and has recovered to P7 so far, and Icewind is saying a Vinny as driver of the day, and Tipsy says at the minute he would give it to him as well.
Yeah, Vinny doing very good. Not getting much screen time as our Vinny, but yeah, he's done very good. P5, Inferno Koi as well, as Tipsy pointed out. Very, very good drive. Been impressed with him recently. I've seen him a lot in practice sessions, and his pace is just getting better and better. And I do the odd league race myself in other leagues, and I've seen him about. He's very active, and it's paying off for him. You can see it now. His pace is pretty good at the minute.
Yeah, I think Thimo may be closing up on him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like he was closing in, and then he kind of lost a bit of time, and he's closing in again. So I wonder if Timu's like strong in a certain part of the track, whereas Inferno Coin might be slow in another part of the track. So they're just kind of exchanging lap times.
Yeah, that does tend to happen with drivers, and the one will be quicker in a certain sector than other. As we've had tons of action the whole race, and it doesn't look like we've got anyone relatively close. I think it's just Motocrosser and George right now, so at least we've got one thing to commentate on during the end of this race.
Okay, and we've got Ice asking for what are the penalties in Iron Ag and Motocrosser.
I will check that for you.
Just while you're doing that, George. Yeah, George. Like at the start of the race, I think he was being a bit too considerate and a bit too thoughtful of others. And now we've entered the later phase of the race, and he's just went, you know what? The gloves are off. I gotta get the hammer down, and he's doing all right here. He's holding off Motocrosser. He will come under a bit of pressure from Motocrosser on the straight, but he's got himself up to P8, and he's building up a pretty good gap to Wimpy behind him.
Yeah, about those penalties, Aaron doesn't even have a warning. Motocrosser has a penalty and 2 warnings, in which, speaking of him, he'll be promoting himself a further 1 position on George. A very easy move on the right hand side down the main straight as Thimo picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, I hear Timo is talking about Planet Zoo in voice chat, so maybe his focus isn't quite there. Or maybe that's what he needs to do to get in the zone, I don't know. But I think he'd be happy enough with P7 at the minute. He does have a time penalty, and yeah, I think I think that P7's safe at the minute, but he doesn't want to pick up any more penalties. But yeah, like just to continue on, I'm very impressed with a number of drivers. Inferno Koi, Vinny, Huini without the racing line is in P4. Racing against all these guys with assists, not bad job from him. George MS as well. I mean, I don't know if you know this about George, but he uses a pad, but I think he has most assists off, if not all of them off. And that is something that's quite an achievement, you know, if that is true.
Yeah, I know he does race on a pad, so he's very good on the pads, and for in tier 2 able to score points, which it looks like he will be able to do today.
Yeah, like auto gears on pad is, you know, I can't do you know, I used to use the pad when I first started out, and there's no way I could have done manual on a pad. It's just too many buttons to consider, you know, so fair play to the man.
Yeah, I try the pad sometimes, and it just never works out.
Yeah, it's too sensitive. You know, you need to be very nimble on the sticks as well. And just what we're talking here, Ag, teammate of Wimpy, has made his way past Wimpy. So Ag is actually in P10 at the minute. Wimpy down to P11.
Yeah, but as it stands, George will get demoted down to P10 with his 2 penalties. So not looking particularly good for George, as he just needs to pull away from Wimpy, ideally, or maybe hope Aaron picks up some penalties in the last
Oh,
3 laps of this race.
oh, did you see that? Aaron Ag came out of the corkscrew corner and they got it all wrong, and the throttle almost went into the barrier, and that's allowed Wimpy to get past his teammate. Well, side by side,
Brilliant.
he's not giving up that easy.
A bit of argy-bargy coming out of Agona. George picks up another penalty.
Oh, that might
That,
put him behind Wimpy then,
yeah,
yeah.
that could put him out the points. Skibolt's closing in on this battle as well on his fresh medium tyres. There's some weaving going on down the straight between Aaron and Wimpy.
Yeah,
Aaron just wants to break that slipstream.
I know these guys are teammates, but I mean they're best working together here. You know, Iga's got the pace on
Yeah,
Wimpy, but he should really be helping them out with DRS here, which he is doing on this straight. But they don't want to be fighting too much because, as you say, Keeper is in their mirrors and closing in big time. 3 laps left then in the race, and settle down a wee bit. We are seeing we've got Verk. Oh, did I see someone off track there? No, I don't think I did. But Verk is trying to put a move on Invalid here. He's got DRS open. Invalid guarding that inside line with his life. But Verk able to get the move done before the corner even came upon them.
yep, and Keyboard gaining on the 2 Ferraris ahead of him on those 9-lap-year-old medium tyres. So it's gonna be close whether he can get past one of them or not. I'm gonna see how many penalties Keyboard has. I haven't seen any pop up for him, and I'm right, he doesn't have any penalties. So he will actually get ahead of Wimpy and maybe ahead of George.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a shake-up as they cross the finish line, but we've got Thimo is got right onto the back of Inferno Koi here. He's got the gap down to half a second, and he's got the RS open as well. It's going to further bring down that gap. As you can see, it's down to 0.3, 0.2.
Yeah, Timo got very close there to the back of Inferno Koi. Obviously Timo, by the looks of it, able to break a lot later than Inferno Koi does, as seen there. So, pretty interested. Timo might go for a bit of an ambitious dive bomb late on the brakes, as Wimpy did. He doesn't go for the move into that corner. We're just gonna follow him as he puts it out in no ERS, just saving it. In the corkscrew now. Opens DRS. He's very close to Inferno Koi, but he's still in no ERS, so he doesn't really want to go for a move here by the looks of it, as he knows Inferno Koi will be able to get the switch back through that corner and maybe get him back on the main straight as Contender enters the final lap, Chief.
Yeah, so Timo has got one more lap. He's on the penultimate lap here, but he's coming to the final corner, so one more lap to get this moved on Inferno Koi, and he's put himself in a really good position here on the start-finish straight. I don't know if it's going to matter in terms of time penalties. I think Inferno Koi doesn't have any penalties. I think that's the case anyway. But yeah, you can see the overspeed he has here already, and they haven't even got inside of the corner yet. And Timo is alongside and has got the move done by the first corner, is able to kind of block off the racing line there for Inferno Koi, not able to get a good run out, and Thimo gets the move done up to P6. Great job from Thimo.
Yeah, and you are right about the penalties. Inferno Koi doesn't have any, and Timo does have one penalty, so unless Inferno Koi picks one up this lap, he will get that P6 position back. Contender is coming to start the final sector now. It's been a really good race by Contender. He's been very quiet, but he's managed to get himself up there and into the lead of this race and lead it. It'll be his second race win in a row, which will give him 50 points in the championship lead, as he hasn't picked up fastest lap in either of them. He weaves as he comes across the line. The fireworks will start shooting up in the air as Contender wins in Bahrain.
And what a win from the man himself. I mean, that's 2 in a row, and this is a guy who's dropped the pad, got a new wheel, and I think he's considering dropping an assist, as he goes along. I think he's still using a few of them, but yeah, I mean, just to go from the pad to the wheel alone and still win races, that's a big achievement. And this man means business. He's got his eye on the title, that's for sure, but it's early days yet.
Yes, it definitely is. Well done, Huini, for his first race with no line, able to get on the podium. So very well done to him in the Alfa Romeo car.
Oh, and Wimpy gets P10 in the end, so that is a great job from him. Keyboard just missing out on P10 by 0.3, so got it for him. But yeah, Wimpy, it's a Ferrari P9, P10.
By the looks of it. George does drop out of the top 10 with those penalties. A bit of a shame.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I don't think he should be too disappointed though. He was, he's very pacey throughout the race.
That's good pace. As we just wait for Mossy, who is coming down.
Yeah, Mossy, it's actually his last race in turn 2, or turn 2, tier 2. So yeah, tier 3. He's going to do some donuts, I think. This is send his, maybe a bit of weaving anyway. This is send him down to tier 3.
Yes, as we've got migrating horse, so we might get stuck in the lobby, in the loading screen. Sorry, but a great win by Contender today, second in a row. Will he make it third in a row? We'll see next week.
Yeah, China next week, but yeah, Gary OC, he did a pretty solid race for himself. Picked up P2 position there, I think. They went for that kind of safe strategy, but it ended up paying off in the end. Huini though, yeah, he's another standout driver. A lot of guys have, I think a lot of these guys are raising the bar. With regards to their driving, obviously been grinding away. I know, as I said earlier in the stream, Inferno Koi has been grinding pretty hard in the practice sessions. I did one the other night. It was like 3.5 hours long. And he was there for every lap of it, So I love to see that there when people, can convert practice laps into actual race pace. Yeah. He's really benefited from that. So good job to Inferno Car for that one. So I'm going to ask the chat, just while we line up the interviews, who have you got for driver of the day? I know Bob.
I saw Tipsy say Vinny driver of the day, and Vinny has said stop it.
Okay, well, Vinny said stop it, so I guess he's not driver of the day then.
Either Huini, just for the efforts with the no line, starting from P12 in the grid to get on the podium. It's difficult to transfer to no line, and I think if he keeps driving the way he does, he'll be up to pace in no time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's gonna come sooner rather than later with those guys. I'm just gonna check and see what. There's another guy I have in mind for the driver of the day, and that's Inferno Koi. And I know he had a pretty quiet race, but I just want to see last season results here if I can find them to see what his best finish was. Let's see, tier 2 season 2. Okay, here
Thimo
we go.
did a good race as well in P7 from P15, so he might be another candidate for driver of the day. Amazing.
It's quite a fight for driver of the day, but look at this here. Inferno Koi last season scored 0 points. And this season, like, he stepped up his game massively there, and yeah, I'm very impressed with him. So he kind of gets my driver of the day back in, but yeah, we can leave it up to we'll take your driver of the day, and maybe we'll take chats, and then we can decide from there. But I think
we have some people waiting to be interviewed. We have a race winner contender, so I'm gonna drag him in if I can. There we go. Hello, contender.
Hello, guys. Yes, boys, again.
Yeah, boy.
How you doing, guys?
Excellent,
I'm
mate.
doing good. I assume you're doing fantastic after that amazing race win.
Oh, yes, man. So happy about that. In my worst, I think one of my worst tracks too. I wasn't expecting to win here. So very happy with that.
Yeah, just talk us through your race and, what was your strategy going into it and how did it kind of pan out how you felt it would? Was it an easy win? I know they're not easy, but was it a
Oh, yeah,
fairly,
it was a really, really tough win. I had to really fight for it.
yeah.
I qualified at mediums. I did a perfect lap on the medium tires. I think my best lap I have ever done with the mediums here. So I got before, I think, in the qualifying, and the race started pretty easy and calm. I had a little bit of a moment with keyboard Magnussen, and I dropped down 3 places, I think, because he closed the door on me. But whatever, it doesn't matter now. And I got behind Gary. I was like, oh no, man, he's really quick. How can I do that now? How can I pass him? And I was just patient, staying in the DRS, made the move when I had to, and then pulled the cap. And really, really had to focus though, because it's a really easy track to do a mistake. But yeah, the race went as I planned, I guess. So really, really happy with that.
Yeah, I'm just reading chat there and contender.
I think.
Sorry, Billy, but Keeper Magnuson said sorry about the contact contender. I did see you, but too late.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. He closed a little bit the door, but those stuff happens, man. It didn't end my race. I just lost 2, 3 places, so it's fine, really fine.
So, contender, just how did you feel in the first stint? Obviously, you dropped down to 7th. I think it was after the
Yeah.
second lap. Did you feel you could win from that position in the first?
I feel I had a chance to win. I thought Gary was really, really fast, so I had to pass him at some point. I thought I could do the undercut. That's why I pit lap 10, but he did we pit the same lap, so I had to pass him on track. That was the hard part. Yeah, I think when when I saw Netluk had the penalty, that's when I thought, yeah, I got a chance now, because I didn't have a warning the entire race. That's a good thing too. Really, really happy as again in one of my worst tracks. I don't like this track at all, but really, really happy with the win, second in a row. So yes, really, really happy.
Yeah, it doesn't get
Thank
much
you.
better than that, does it?
So I'll drag you back into the commentators' lounge to be with
Yeah.
some of the fellow drivers in there.
Thanks, contender.
Thanks for the interview, contender. We'll see you.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Who shall we bring in? We've got a selection of drivers to choose from here. Who should we bring in, Chief?
Yeah, I'll leave it down to you, mate.
Well, Inferno had a good race. Let's drag him in to the commentator's booth. So Inferno, you had a great race in P6. Just walk us through the race and the different parts of it.
Well, I qualied on the softs. Maybe a mistake, but it seemed all right in practice. And I felt that my pace on the mediums wasn't enough to get into the top 10. So I just went for it at the end, and the softs I got, I think, 5th, which was all right. And then I went for a soft to hard strat, which I'd done in practice a couple of times, and it had been all right. Problem was this time I don't know. I feel like I got more wear than I did in practice, and I picked up a puncture on my last lap.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I sort of limped into the pits and lost probably a few seconds.
Oh, we didn't notice that on stream. I think we saw you going into the pits because I know you were on the was it 10 or 11 lap old sauce at the
Yeah,
end?
I did 11 laps, so I pitted at the end of the 11th.
That's a very long time to stay on soft compound tires. So did you feel the
Yeah.
grip sliding away in the end?
The last lap was really bad. It was okay. I think I should have pit on the end of 10, and that was my intention. But that 11th lap, I think I must have lost about. I was losing a lot of pace, and then I got the puncture as well. I must have lost about 5 seconds or so in total on that lap, just leaving it too late.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse if you got a puncture just as you passed.
It was almost a disaster. Yeah, I got the puncture sort of just as I was coming around the last corner.
Wow, pretty lucky then, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was kind of saying on stream, I've noticed you've been practicing a lot recently, and it's good to see whenever it kind of converts to race pace and getting points. And I had a look at your last season as well, and you didn't score 1 point last season, and
No.
this season you're you've improved a lot, and we haven't quite decided driver of the day, but you're definitely in contention. I would say that.
I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
If you were to offer it to me.
Unfortunately, there's a few other guys
Whether I
that are.
deserve it.
Yeah, we'll decide by the end of the stream, so stay posted on that.
Sort of a pity driver of the day. I'll take a pity vote. That's fine.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we're still in.
yeah, you did very good, man. And it's great to see, people put in work and it paying off with results, and you certainly did that. You had no penalties today as well, is that right?
Yeah, I got one warning,
One
but
warning.
I don't really have a problem with the limits on Bahrain.
Yeah, there's a
seems
few
fine
people.
for me.
Few people picked up penalties here and there, and it did cost them a few positions there at the end.
Yeah, I know Thimo had one because he was behind me by a couple of seconds, and I thought, no point fighting him. I'll keep him out of DRS as long as I can, and then I'll just keep him within 3 seconds by the end, and it was fine.
Yeah, it's always good when you see that, or you get that kind of communication come through. The guy behind's just picked up a 3-second penalty, and you're like, I can breathe again.
Yeah.
For a bit, anyway. But yeah, thanks for joining us on stream. I'll say stay posted on the stream, and we'll announce the driver of the day, because it's quite a few guys vying for that driver of the day accolade today. So we'll catch you next week then. Hopefully you come back and continue your points winning streak.
I doubt it. I think China might be my worst track. I'm absolutely awful, but yeah.
Yeah, China's not a good track.
Time to get grinding, mate. I'll let you go, okay? I'll catch you on the other side.
Cool.
So, who next then? Who next?
There's so many people to choose from. I think Weenie said he'd do an interview, but he said he might have to type, I think he said.
Okay.
So I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, well, we'll bring in Wimpy and Thimo, I think.
Yeah, we'll bring those.
The dynamic duo. Let's have a look and see. So, Thimo, how's it going? And Wimpy joining us. The Thimo Wimpy battle was strong today. We were enjoying that a lot, and just give us it from your point of view, Thimo and Wimpy.
On the race or on the fight? Or
yeah, the fight between the two of you is like how it was very impressive stuff from both of you.
So I saw that there was a funny red car ahead of the car was chasing down, and then I double thought and was like, oh no, that is going to be Wimpy. God save me.
My nemesis.
And, then I've been told, oh yeah, it's actually Wimpy. So then I don't know who it was between us. Like he pitted or overtook him, or I don't know what happened to him. And then I was behind you, or Wimpy, and I thought, okay, this is going to be a mess. Let's make it as quick as possible. So I go and turn 10, and I put it in low ERS to get a good traction. And Wimpy, luckily, like half spins. I think, oh yes, I'm going to get it done on the first one. Take notes, people. I overtook Wimpy first try. I was very pumped. Next DRS straight, Wimpy is like 40 kilometers per hour quicker than me, and then I started crying. And after that, I had a lot of problems getting back to him. Like he really picked up the pace there, I feel like, or I just got worse, one of the two. And then it took me some time. In the end, it was some very hard work for me. Like it was in no way easy, but I'm very happy I managed to do it, because I cry every time I'm getting memed by chat. Every time.
Well, you were heaps of praise today, so you can when you skim through the stream later, you'll be very happy to hear us being positive about you for a change. But Wimpy's also Wimpy's also in chat here. I want to get a word from him. How was the race for you, my man? You had a lot of pace, especially at the start there. You had one of your notorious rocket starts and kept out of trouble, picked up a lot of
Yeah.
positions. So yeah, just give us a lowdown on your race.
Yeah, I was quite nervous because what happened in quali was I actually set a lap on mediums, but I made a mistake and I only had one set of mediums, so I went back to the pits. So I was thinking what to do, and I saw that I was dropping out of top 10, and I was asking Ice and Copy dropped the bomb on my chat, said, but go out on soft, speed your time, but don't go top 10 and you get press of mediums. I was like, okay, that's the way to go. So I did that by 7,000ths of a second over the line. I timed myself actually at the lift off during my last qualifying lap to do that just to get fresh mediums. But yeah, and then Icewind continued saying that just do one of those famous wimpy starts, keep it clean and put your hair down, and that's exactly what I did. But yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't find some pace today, man. I was trying to hold on to Thimo. He had good pace and stuff. I was actually saving some battery at that moment. He passed me and then started using some ERS. I came back at him and then I went out of battery again. I think that's when he got away from me. But yeah, from there on I just tried to keep it together and get some points.
And there was a really great move we caught on stream from you. I can't remember who it was, but you put it up the inside of someone. It was a late dive. Like, I'm not saying dirty, but I'm saying it was a good move. But you'll enjoy watching that one back in stream. I think it was at the corkscrew corner.
Yeah, I remember that. It was actually an accident. I didn't plan that. I missed my braking point. And I was like, either go into the back of the guy taking wing damage or try and not make contact in the inside. And luckily, I think we slightly touched him. I can't remember. I don't even know who it was. I already apologized to that guy if he thought it was a dive bomb. Sorry to whoever it was. That wasn't planned, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah, no, myself, I was caught out by a lot of dive bombs from people around me. If you watch my stream, you'll see what I mean. I can't remember who that was, but quite a lot of them. But anyway, luckily no damage.
Yeah, I think Thimo is having a fight with his keyboard here at the minute.
Oh yeah, I detached my steering wheel. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Thimo, what about that turn 1 incident? What happened there?
Turn 1 incident?
Or lap 1 incident? You got spun round?
Lap 1 incident, you mean?
Yeah.
With invalid, yeah, it was kind of unfortunate. Like, I think I had a good start. There was the expected carnage in the S section in the lead up. So you had gained some positions from like P15, was it P12? And then, I don't know, it was kind of in with the other people. And I guess I left a little space and invalid decided to dive down the inside. Like, we exchanged some words in the gentleman's lounge earlier. Like, I think he didn't quite know if he wanted to go for it or not, and kind of missed his breaking point. So he went down my inside. I reacted too late, so I turned in on him, and I got spun around. So I was P18 after that. Yeah, but I didn't get damage. It's unlucky because I think Joel got damage from that because he ran into invalid after he was stationary. So, like, there's no hard feelings or anything. It was just a little unlucky. I'm happy that I got away with that damage and could continue my race. Also, it made it fun because I got behind that battle group with Wimpy, George, who I want to give a shout out to. Yeah, I had a nice battle with him. And like I got behind those guys, which was kind of fun to fight. They were kind of fun to fight with. I appreciated that. Having that fight, so I'm not very mad about getting spun there.
Yeah, that's where the attention of the stream was. Pretty much all the race was you guys.
This round goes to you, man.
Yeah, it's 1-0. Is that 1-0 or did you win the last one, Wimpy?
I didn't finish Australia due to that wonderful decent race.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, that was the one where you were everywhere at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
But not on track. That was the unfortunate part.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so guys, we're going to move you back into general. Thanks for joining us on stream, and we will look forward to you guys battling again, as you always seem to find each other on track.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Much to our, I don't know what the word is. I was going to say lamentation, but I don't even know if that's the word. Did I just make a word? I don't know. Let's go with it. Lamentation.
Judging by how the last fights went, I will actually look forward to fighting Wimpy. because they were
Okay.
pretty enjoyable. The bad
Challenges
experiences
out there,
are
man.
of the past.
I'll see you in China, boy.
You want
Oh,
me to change my
yeah.
opinion again? We'll
Anyway,
see. We'll
thank
see.
you guys.
You
Yeah,
just lit a
thanks for
fire.
having us.
See
You've
you,
lit
man.
a fire
Thanks for
under his ass.
Thanks for letting me ramble.
No worries. Well,
Bye bye.
we'll speak to you next week. There we go. I think that's it for now then, Billy. All the interviews done. Anything you want to say before they end the stream?
Well, no, really. We can't decide a driver of the day. I think the dream chat saying Vinny. I would agree, but there's a lot of other drivers that were great. So
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think, yeah, if we're in doubt, we'll just go with what the people are demand, and they're demanding Vinny as driver of the day. So, Vinny, if you're
yeah,
out there and you're
so
listening, this one's on you, bro.
Vinny is our driver of the day.
Yep, indeed. Nice quiet race from him, but yeah, he had his nap. He woke up and he just seemed like he was just getting faster as the race went on there, and had a good strategy, an alternate strategy from the rest of the guys. But yeah, well earned driver of the day for Vinny, and we will be back, guys, tomorrow. We've got F2 SLR on the EGL platform, and then we've got Saturday's going to be busy. We've got Assetto Corsa, but before that is SLR Tier 1, Bahrain, and then 2 SRL on Sundays as ever. And next week we will have Tier 3, the first race of Tier 3 SLR, nicknamed the Thunderdome. So we expect great things from that. There's going to be a lot of new drivers that we're going to be testing out, and we're going to be using it as like a kind of proving ground for new guys coming in, because you get all these guys that are so eager to race, but you don't have the seats to give to them, and maybe you haven't seen them race. So this is a chance just to fire them all in and see what happens. So I expect a lot of carnage. I expect to see some good racing in the midst of that carnage, hopefully, and yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I think Van Beats will be doing the commentary for that. I'm not sure who's going to be commentating alongside that, but if anyone's interested, drop me a message. And I think that wraps it up then. Yeah, a very good race in the desert. We'll be back next week for China, and that's all from me.
Yeah, there's nothing else I have to say. It was a good race. From start to finish, I think we got some very good racing, very good battles, and yeah, I think that will round it up for Bahrain. And let's just hope it's me and Bants at China
Yes,
as the
Bants.
commentators. So.
Yeah, he was supposed to be this week, but he will be back next week. He's assured me, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Bants and Bailey on the mic for the Tier 2 going forward. But I'm sure I'll be back on the mic soon enough. Yeah, so that rounds it up for now, guys. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you soon